Saint Agatha was finally released to Redbox. This was a movie that came out a while ago last year, and it was expensive to rent, and I don't know, the trailer wasn't really selling me all that much, and I'm not a big fan of religious type horror. I've talked about that on the channel enough. I always feel like it's the same damn movie. The only thing that really had me interested was the director, Darren Lynn Bousman, who did Saw 2, 3, 4. I just recently reviewed Mother's Day, which I really enjoy the fuck out of that. Devil's Carnival 1 and 2. Repo the Genetic Opera. The dude's done a lot of stuff. Abattoir or something. So yeah, I mean, he's got a laundry list of cool films. And so when I saw he was attached, I was like, all right, that's got me interested. So now, did I enjoy this film? Yes, very much actually. This is one of the better horror movies of 2018, I guess technically, but it didn't really get a proper release for me until 2019. So I'm going to count this as a 2019 film for when I do my year end. And right now it would definitely be on the top 25. I don't even know if I've seen 25 horror movies this year. So everything I've seen would be on the top 25. Even if I fucking hated it. The one thing that I didn't... Okay, there was a couple things I didn't care for in this movie, but one thing I really didn't care for was the way the movie was filmed and looked. I thought it was washed out and terrible looking. I did not like the aesthetic choice of this film at all. It felt cheap. It felt gross. It wasn't appealing at all, and for me, it wasn't I didn't feel like that was an aesthetic choice. Like, oh, I want it to feel gritty and gross. And like, no, it wasn't appealing either way, whether they were going for that grimy, gritty feel or, whatever. It aesthetically didn't work for me at all. So the look of the film was bad, and actually took it down a notch and felt cheap to me. Also, there is and this is kind of featured in the trailer, so I thought it was going to lean more in this direction, that it was more of a supernatural tale. So what this is about a woman who goes to a nunnery to seek asylum there, as she's pregnant. She can't take care of her baby, and while she's there, the nuns are fucking monstrous, and while she's there, she's pretty rebellious, and the other girls have kind of conformed to the ways of the nunnery, and she's, the rebel, ones that's standing up, but they seem to think, the nuns seem to think she's special. I really like the way that this played out. There's something in the trailer and something in this movie that hints more at a supernatural element. And honestly, I don't think this movie needed it at all. I don't feel like it served any purpose in the film, like almost at all. It could have been done away with completely, and the film would have been better for it. I don't really take it as a negative per se, because I didn't feel like it hurt the film. I just didn't see the importance of it. I will say too that I felt like this was inspired by Italian cinema. The music felt very Italian at times, and not like Italian synth or like prog rock or something like a Goblin, but I do think the story felt pretty Italian as well. But yeah, overall, I really enjoyed it. I don't think I recognized a single actor, but I thought everyone was really good. I really liked the performances from everyone. I just wish that the film looked better. I felt like if maybe there was a better budget and they could have got the feeling that they were going for to be a little grittier and look more aesthetically pleasing to the eyes, even if that pleasing means like dark and grimy, like some of the scenes in like Martyrs or something. Like Martyrs is a dark film and it has a lot of gross, drained of color type shots and scenes in it, but it's still aesthetically pleasing. It still looks good, even when it's supposed to be looking bad. This just looked gross. I didn't like the look of this film. I think I want to say Avatar actually looked like that as well, if my memory serves me correct on that. Mother's Day isn't all that pleasing either, so I think this is Darren Lynn Bousman. You know, because Saw kind of has its own aesthetic look. It's got its own vibe there. They have that like green filter that they put on every one of those movies. So I think he was kind of following the template of what James Wan had set up in the first one. So I think that was his own thing, or that wasn't his own thing, and everything since it really has been. But at the same time, I don't know, because you take his like Devil's Carnivals and whatnot, those are pretty colorful. So I don't know. I don't like the look of a lot of his films. So that all being said, it definitely is not a typical religious movie. I thought it was going to be a possession movie. I thought it was going to be like them trying to get the demon out, you know, the power of Christ compels you, or she was possessed or whatever. It's not really like that at all. So I loved the way that this was more of an evil nunnery movie, and it was just like her rebellion against it. As I said, ditch the fucking supernatural stuff altogether, and this movie would have been as good, if not better, because of it. So I recommend it, absolutely, as I'm sure you can tell here. But I will be looking forward to what the people's thoughts are on this one. But it's a high recommendation for me, and it's currently at Redbox, and I'm sure it's on VOD as well. But Redbox is only $1, back $1.75. So that's the route I go, because I watch a lot of shit, and I can't spend every fucking cent I earn on watching movies as much as I would love to do so. All right, guys.